Well, welcome back, everybody, whoever that might be. Here to talk about the '96 Chevy Suburban now, the vehicle that came after the '98 Ford Explorer. This was a huge mistake and a huge expense. So I found another ad on. I'm going to say this was on Craigslist. Should have known better. And they were asking $2,500 for this really nice looking, you know, Chevy 4x4 Suburban that they claimed had a Harley Davidson affiliation of some sort. It did have nice Harley stickers mounted on the sides of the fenders, but I found out it was just somebody stuck them on there, thought it was cool, and painted the truck black. It was originally blue. I found out later when I started pulling trim parts off. It was a good paint job though. Got to give it that good paint job. So this truck, I paid $2,500. Went to see it, checked the oil, checked the tranny fluid, checked the water. Everything looked brand new and like stupid new, like they had just come out of a mechanic shop. Didn't even drive it down the block. And the person didn't have the title on them. It was in I forget her sister's house or something. So I had to drive 100 miles across the state to go get this title. And luckily, she met me at a DMV, so we could change the title, get it signed all right there. And on my way down there, about halfway down, um, the engine started overheating. And when you're doing 70 miles an hour, you don't really see the smoke. Then when I did start to see the smoke, because it did get really bad, I pulled over, opened up the hood, and one of the top radiator hoses had blown a hole in it, and it just got all over everything. It overheated everything. I didn't even know how much other damage it did because everything was soaked with coolant and rust, because there must have been rust in the system. And I fixed that hose, got back on the road, and not like 15 minutes later, I start hearing the engine just whining, wow, 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 wow. And I find out later, because I didn't know what was going on, um, my transmission had gone out. I don't know if something with overheat caused a problem, but I had no transmission, and it had thrown all the transmission fluid all out all over the road. So I think that one of the hose popped in the overheat. Don't know. Didn't try to even fix it. Got to where I had to go in that emergency mode where you could just like do second gear. Got the title, got it signed over, came back out, saw no transmission fluid. Went to a dollar store. I'm not going to say whose dollar store it was. Got a whole gallon of transmission fluid, filled it back up. Didn't see any leaks. Still, I still don't really know what happened to it, and I didn't really get into it after that. So I crippled it back home, and this truck couldn't do more than like 25, 30 miles an hour in second gear. It was just done. It felt like all the bands were snapped, like everything was just off inside the transmission except like an emergency gear to crawl. And I got it home, tried to find a transmission for it, and even the junk transmissions were like 1,200, 1,500, and I just couldn't afford to put that in this truck that I just bought and spent most of my money on. You can see the white van in the background there. That ends up being the next truck, because this one, I put it on. I put an ad up trying to get like $2,000 back for it, but no one wanted to buy it because the engine and transmission were like, oh, by the way, there was milkshake in the engine block, so everything was just destroyed on that one 200-mile round trip. Um, I put it up for sale. No one wanted it. One guy kept contacting me because I had this really nice hood on there, that what you're looking at right now, that with the scoop on it. Well, the hump on it. It's not really a scoop. And I mean, the truck body was nice. The wheels are beautiful on this truck. I kind of fell in love with these things. It's almost like I don't know, say like a big honeycomb. I'll show you a picture here in a minute. But this car, the truck, was a clean body. I just didn't have time. There's the wheel, really nice wheels. The body was clean, and even the interior was in really decent shape. And I had a good title, but no one was offering anything for it because I'm honest about it. I was real about it, told everybody what had happened, and I couldn't afford to put an engine and tranny in it, so no one was biting. I ended up giving it to the guy who wanted the hood for $1,200, so I lost half my money on that move. And yeah, the interior was really beautiful on this thing, and he's a parts guy, so he's going to part it out and probably make 3 times the money I paid for it out of the money he paid for it. But I had to let that thing go because there was no way I was putting like 3 to 5 grand in this thing just to get a possibility of it not working again. So I had just purchased a 1990 Chevy van that I had loaded all my stuff out of my storage, and I was going to tow the Chevy van with the Suburban. Never did get there, obviously, because the Suburban just wasn't going to do it. And I ended up putting a lot of the money that I got for the Suburban into the Chevy to get it back running. The thing needed brakes and everything. It ran great, but it was an accident vehicle. It was all bashed in. I'm going to show you that in a minute as soon as we get through with this video. But I just can't seem to get a break with these vehicles. Now Bertha is actually number 5 because I got another story to tell you that's just as bad as this one. Anyway, this thing, it didn't have that many miles on it, the black Suburban. It was a really nice truck, but I could tell that I was pretty much duped. They filled up they must have given an oil change, filled the oil up because it was probably milkshake before I even got the truck. It had a head gasket leak or something was leaking, and the transmission must have been going too because they did a tranny tune-up also. Because when you pull a dipstick out, you don't expect to see brand new transmission fluid unless you just put brand new transmission fluid in it. Anyway, I'm going to get onto this Chevy Suburban. These pictorial videos are hard to do because you got to do a lot of editing, moving the pictures around to get them in the right sequence. And, I try my best, but it takes time to do these. So I got another one to put together for y'all. And this one's going to be ready in a minute because I'm going to add this video that I just created to the pictograph that I've been editing all along. So I'll see you on the next one. Have a great night.